everybody, welcome to Coffee Talk with Heidi. And I just want to invite you as we start out now to take a deep breath with me, okay? Sometimes those deep breaths are really what can help us focus. And for me right now, as you can see, I am filming from my car because it has just been one of those days. And here I am, got some time, and I'm waiting. So I'm recording, and I want to bring a word to you. This is the final video in my series on fear and how God helps us overcome. And today I want to talk about fear that stems from past pain or past hurts. And I think there's two kinds here. One is really past pain and hurts that are things that are our own fault, things that we've done. And then the other kind is the pain and hurt that stems from what others have done and things that have happened to us that we had no control over. And the same verse really helps me when I encounter both of these kinds of fear. And it's my go-to verse on fear when I find myself getting stuck. And this is in 1 John chapter 4, verse 17 and 18. And I'm going to read it for you. It says, "So as we live in God, our love grows more perfect. So we will not be afraid when we face the day of judgment, because we can face him with confidence, because we are like Christ here in this world. Such love that is rooted in Christ, such love has no fear, because perfect love, which is God's love, casts out all fear or expels all fear. If we are afraid, it is for fear of judgment, and this shows that God's love has not been perfected in us." Now, again, there's two ways this plays out. One is with our past hurts and pain. Often we can feel like it's somehow disqualified us from what we're asking God to do in our life, or what we need God to do in our life. That God won't bless what we're doing. God won't heal us. God won't provide for us financially. God won't, you fill in the blank, whatever it is that we think God won't do because we have somehow disqualified ourselves because of stuff that we've done in the past, or because of shame that's connected to our past actions. And that's the kind of fear of judgment that comes from fearing God's judgment of us. And this verse encourages us because we can be secure in God's love. God's love is perfect. God's love is able to cover anything that we might do that we would think would disqualify us. Nothing disqualifies us because God's love is bigger than all of that. But then the second way that we can fear judgment or punishment is that having to do with others. And when we have faced pain or hurts related to what other people have done to us, whether that's rejection or an outright attack or wherever that might come from, we can fear loving others. And this whole book of 1 John is about being grounded in God's love, but also letting that love be deep in us so that we can love others and be in relationship with others in a healthy way. And this verse applies, I think, when we think about others, because it can be so much easier to shut ourselves off and say, I don't care what you think about me. I don't need anybody else in my life. What you say, I'm just going to close myself off and pretend that I don't care. And the thing is that none of us actually don't care. We all really care, but it's easier sometimes to close ourselves off and pretend we don't, so that we don't have to fear judgment or rejection or pain inflicted on us by others and try to protect ourselves. But that kind of thing isn't sustainable in our lives. We cannot live closed off from others. And so we need God's love to come in and heal those hurts. We need to stop cloaking ourselves in anger and allow ourselves to grieve over the past things that have happened. We need to let God into those places and heal us. And in both of those areas where we might fear punishment or fear judgment or fear that we're not enough or that God has rejected us or that nobody will ever love us again, or whatever it is we might be feeling, that's where we really need God's supernatural love to come in our hearts, because ultimately fear is not something that we can face on our own. We can have tools that we can use, that God has given us, that we can use to help us get out of fear. But really, I think the only way to overcome fear is through God and the supernatural work that He does when we open up our hearts to Him. So I hope today, as we move on from this theme of fear, that you can have God's love in your heart. And what I try to do when I find myself stuck in fear is I just say, God, show me where it is that I'm not living in your perfect love. Show me where I am not experiencing you and your truth in my life. Show me where the lies are that I need to reject. Show me where I'm afraid because I'm not recognizing who you say that I am. And so that's my encouragement to you, is that if you find yourself afraid, closing yourself off, procrastinating because you don't want to face something, whatever it is, I pray that you can ask God to show you where it is that you're not living in His perfect love, and ask God to help you move beyond that and move into freedom. So I hope you can go enjoy your day, enjoy your coffee, enjoy the people in your life, and live without fear and move on in a healthy way with Jesus. Have an awesome day. Leave me a comment. Let me know how this impacted you or what you're dealing with. I'd love to pray with you, and I'd love to hear what's going on. Awesome. Bye, guys.